From local stories to Wayne County news, get ready to dive into everything happening in North Carolina with Taylor House Publishing. Got a story to share? Shoot us an email at taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. If you're looking to publish your book or need some top-notch mentorship, we've got your back. Join the excitement with the one and only Whichard Taylor, right here at Taylor House Publishing. Speak with Whichard directly at 919-587-7782. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and invite your family and friends to watch.
From Wayne County to the Carolina coast, Taylor House brings the news you love most. Tune in on YouTube, don't miss a beat. Little stories that keep you in your feet.
Taylor House, we got the school.
Taylor House Publishing.
Of what it does to these children.
Any other comments?
I like the idea that you didn't give the parents a choice in whether they wanted their kids to come to Eastern Wayne. You had no say in it at all.
We've already settled that issue. What I'm here to talk to you tonight about is the choice of whether we begin and then flip those classes. I want you to think about your student and whether or not what we're talking about doing is going to be a traumatic event by transitioning again. I don't want to do that.
I'm talking about that. I'm talking about whether they come to Eastern Wayne at all. Why couldn't they stay to Edgewood and we bring all the disability kids to Edgewood instead of putting them in different schools?
That's just not the way the program operates.
All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Whichard Taylor, and I'm coming back with another video concerning the current Wayne County Superintendent, Dr. Mark Whichard. Now, what you just heard is a snippet of a meeting that he called with the parents, an emergency meeting, a surprise meeting that he called with the parents of students who formerly attended Edgewood School here in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Now, Edgewood School is a school for exceptional children. Now, there was a big outrage amongst the parents of those children earlier this year when this superintendent announced that these students who have their own separate facility, own separate staff, own separate services would be moving onto the campus of Eastern Wayne High School, along with the students who are experiencing behavioral challenges at Wayne Academy. So this school, these children who some have, severe disabilities, severe behavioral challenges, communication challenges, mobility challenges, all of these children who had their own separate school are going to be now housed in a school within a school. Now, I was informed of this meeting yesterday. I couldn't make it. I'm pretty sure if I was able to make it, Dr. Whichard would have said, Mr. Whichard, you can't be in here. Anyway, but what you're going to hear is about a 12-minute recording of that meeting. Now, as you heard this gentleman talk to the First Lady, the First Lady expressed her concern, and you will hear her say what you're going to hear again, say, hey, you didn't even ask us about, the children going to the school in the first place. He said, well, we've already decided that is not what we're talking about. What I need you to think about is how is your child going to totally dismiss this lady's concern. And he went on to say, well, we need you to think about how your child is going to transition and this and that and the other. And then the lady said, well, look, I don't want it. And in my opinion, that lady was an African-American lady, just, from my experiences of hearing, people from my community talk. It's just so callous how he just totally dismissed this lady's concern. Once again, she said, well, look, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about why they couldn't stay at the school with their own facility in the first place, and you bring all the exceptional children from all over the county to this school. And he said, well, that's just not how the program works. And, and he keeps on. right? He keeps on just dismissing her concerns. But I got an email, a message from someone who attended the meeting, and they tell me, now, mind you, they are intending to put, I think, 40 students in a modular building on the campus of Eastern Wayne. Now, the meeting was called evidently to let the parents know that this modular is not going to be ready for 2 weeks. So now they're going to have, I guess, to spend, 2 weeks in the class of, they have 2 full classes. This message says, of special needs students in 1 room. They have 4 classes and only 2 classrooms and only 1 bathroom for more than 40 students at Edgewood. So apparently they're going to have to wait 2 weeks for this modular, building to be ready for these special needs students who have been used to having their own facility, going to transition to this modular building in the middle of another school, which may, increase their anxiety or what may have you, but also they going to be sharing campus with children who are already experiencing disciplinary behavioral problems. And you're going to hear some of the concerns of the parents as far as the transition. How are these exceptional children going to react being taken out of the controlled environment they were in? You're also going to hear them talk about staffing issues and all of this. But going back to when it first was announced, the parents were, they were kind of hot, and they were outraged. They expressed their displeasure with this decision. However, as you see from his tone of voice to this lady, he didn't care. They didn't care. They totally ignored and disrespected the parents of these exceptional children and moved on to their plans against the parents' better wishes. And I'm reminded of my girl Keke Palmer in the movie Achille and the Bee, when she called him a dictatorial, supercilious, insolent, and I forgot the other words, but all those words come to mind when I hear him talk to people like this, and also just disregard the total concerns. But I'm going to play this for you real quick, and just hopefully it will come through the speakers so that you guys will be able to hear it as well. Just listen to this first point.
Of what it does to these children.
Any other comments?
I don't like the idea that you didn't give the parents a choice in whether they wanted their kids to come to Eastern Wayne. You had no say in it at all.
We've already settled that issue. What I'm here to
Now, the lady said, I didn't like the fact that you didn't give the parents a choice. Did we want our children to come to Eastern Wayne? And he cut her off immediately. Man, we already settled that issue. Like, her concerns are not valid. But you don't hear him talk to the rest of the people like this who express their concerns. There's a more pleasant tone, for lack of a better word. But let's continue.
talk to you tonight about is the choice of whether we begin and then flip those classes. I want you to think about your student and whether or not what we're talking about doing is going to be a traumatic event by transitioning again. I don't want to do that.
I'm talking about that. I'm talking about whether they come to Eastern Wayne at all. Why couldn't they stay to Edgewood and we bring all the disability kids to Edgewood instead of putting them in different schools?
That's just not the way the program operates.
And so there he tells the lady, look, that's not, we've already settled that matter. What I need you to think about is, are we going to start the school year in these two classes for 2 weeks and then flip them onto the campus of Eastern Wayne? And how will your children, your exceptional children, going to react? Is that going to be a traumatic experience for them or not? And this lady once again counters, look, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that you didn't even give us a choice. You know, why couldn't they stay in Eastern Wayne? And once again, he gives her a matter-of-fact answer. Well, The program doesn't work like that. You know, he doesn't address the question. Why didn't you give us a choice? Basically what he's saying, look, I don't care what you think. I'm going to do what I want to do. But let's continue and see his tone in regards to this next comment that is exerted by a concerned parent.
So any other thoughts about beginning here or transitioning to the mobile units? You know your children better than I do.
I like the idea of the mobile unit. I like the idea.
For core instruction?
Yes, I like that idea.
It's what everybody's used to.
Correct, and I do agree that these classrooms are a little bit small.
Correct.
But I think we need to come up with a game plan on how we're going to transition them from here into the quad. I didn't think my daughter was going to have an issue coming here today, but she did. And so at the end of the day, parents, they're going to be here. And so we just got to wrap our minds around it, and let's just band together and try to make it the best move possible because they're here now.
Now you see that lady expressing her concern. She says, look, I don't know, how they want to transition from here until the modules. The classrooms are very small, but she says one thing that alludes to her not wanting the children to be there anyway. She says at the end of the day, they're going to be here. We got to make the best of it, because they're going to be here. And so that lets everybody know. She was like, at the end of the day, parents, they're here. She's talking to the other parents who evidently all of them didn't agree to this move. So if the parents who he claimed, well, your children better than I do, if the parents who know these children better than you do oppose it and know that it may be bad for those children, then why didn't you, Dr. Whichard, take those considerations into consideration? But we all know that you have an ulterior motive of getting these buildings for other purposes. But let's continue.
So is there an opportunity for us to maybe on the weekend come bring our children here on the weekend and show them the new quad and get them used to it before we have to move them from here into that?
We could do that, but let me say this. I wouldn't recommend like this.
See, look, so now the ladies, once again, expressing concerns. Look, how are we going to, can we bring them in on the weekend to get them used to this new environment, right? And what does he say? We can do that, but let me say this, we can do that, but here's what we are going to do. Just listen to how he responds to this.
I recommend like this weekend because it's not ready.
Right.
But I think that's a fair statement, and I think Dr. Smith, myself, Mr. Dr. Harrell, our facilities assistant superintendent, I think we could work out a plan where we would work what we've done that. To give students a chance to go in, maybe on a Friday afternoon. We would send out to you ample notice so you could adjust your schedule such that maybe another evening like this, where you could come with your student and walk through the facility, tour the facility. That's great.
Saturday or Sunday?
Probably not a Sunday. I'm not a big believer in working on Sunday.
What I want to say.
Now he did say, okay, well maybe we can work that out, on a Saturday or Sunday, and we can, with the help of Dr. Harrell and all the other big wigs, that we can help you guys, kind of allow the students to visit the school during the interim. Now here's another question that one parent had.
As far as the transitioning, do we have enough staff, Dr. Smith, to help the students? I know bringing them out on the weekend, but that first day, it's going to be tough because they're not going to be taking parents. Is there enough staff to do that? Is that feasible? Do we need?
For the first day of school?
Yes.
My staff is ready.
Ready?
I'm ready. Cold. You ready?
Are you guys ready for behavior? Because unfortunately, Gabrielle would tear up the room, and I don't want her to do that. She tends to be more calm at school, but she shocked me today. When we left, she started to have a behavior. I don't want her to hurt herself. I don't want her to hurt anybody else. So that was a good question. If there's 3 or 4 students having behaviors at the same time, there's enough staff to come.
See, now the parent voices another concern. She's saying that, okay, on the first day, because, as she mentioned, her daughter can tear up a room. Like she said, she didn't expect that behavior today, but when they came here today, she started having a behavior. And the other parent, who you just heard mention, well, when we came here today too, like she didn't, she didn't want to come. She was having a behavior. So this lady is saying, do you have enough people to handle 40 exceptional children who may be having behavioral problems all at the same time without the parents coming to help? And of course, the guy said, yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Of course you're going to say that. But are you for sure? Because they've never had that on the Eastern Wayne campus. They had specific measures put in place at Edgewood to, I'm sure, accommodate these possible happenings for these exceptional children. Let's listen a little bit further.
Without us having to go.
I'm going to roll my sleeves up and help our students to get through the day. We know that it's going to be different. We're prepared. I mean, we know it's a possibility. So as a staff, we're going to be prepared for that. So we know it's going to take some adjustments, just like it does for any student for the first 10 days of school.
Yeah.
We've got a track out there. We might have to take them to the track.
Yeah.
So.
See, now he said, well, I'm going to roll my sleeves up. We're going to, we have a track out there. We might have to take them to the track. What is that going to do? If you don't have the professional abilities to deal with this type of behavior, taking them to the track, if you bring them back into an environment that triggers them or they're not used to, doesn't matter how many times you take them to the track and bring them back, that environment is going to continue to influence or trigger that behavior. So it's obvious to me, maybe once again, I don't claim to be the sharpest knife in the book, but they really don't have a plan except to get those children in the modular and do whatever it is they want to do at Edgewood, basically.
That was a good idea to come this weekend. Can I ask a question?
Mr. Daly had his hand up next, and we'll come to you.
Yes, I had a couple. One that came to mind was the buses. At one time they said it's out here, but how are kids forced to go ahead and come in? Because before, buses used to unload where the staff parking used to be. Now they can't be going to the classroom over there. How's the kids talking about?
You're talking about the former Eastern Wayne High School drop pattern. That's been changed. Their whole pattern for Eastern Wayne High School.
I'm talking about right now.
Yes, for Edgewood School, the bus drop off will be here at the front door. At the front door.
Now, where the front door? Are they going to walk through the office door right here and down this?
Right down this hallway, right down this hallway.
Okay, and how about the drop off?
Drop off, pick off is right here.
Cars and buses will be in the same lane.
They're on a different drop off time, Eastern Wayne High School.
But how about, are we going to have to wait for the buses, or are we supposed to go ahead?
So this parent is asking about the busing system. How are the children going to be bused there? And also, how are they going to be dropped off and picked up? Like, if they're going to be dropped off in the same line with the regular Eastern Wayne High School, which he says not. They have a different drop-off time and things like that. But these are all concerns that have to be dealt with, and you're not going to see how these things transpire until they start to transpire. So they have this grandiose idea of putting 3 populations of students, and I don't know, I'm just talking about Eastern Wayne High, Wayne Academy, and Edgewood, all in the same facility, and expecting it to run without a hit. So we're going to see how this transpires this upcoming week or the school year.
Kids and vehicle drop off. You've not been contacted on anything. And one of my other things is I think.
Let me answer that question first.
Okay.
But as far as that particular issue, we'll need to take a look at that as far as adjusting maybe where the buses pull up so that cars.
And then he was like, look, as far as like if the buses and cars are coming up, they're saying they're going to drop the exceptional children right in the front door. And he admits right here, well, maybe we need to take a look at that, because, we have to find out how to get the buses and the cars, if they're pulling up at the same time. So once again, it lets me know that they really haven't thought this all the way through, but their main goal is, once again, just put these exceptional children in this small modular building when they're used to having a complete, independent, and self-contained facility of their own. Let's continue.
Can also come around the side. We'll talk with Robert Lee and Tim about it. Did you have 2 buses? 6 buses? Okay. But they're not all dropping at the same particular period of time. We'll talk about it. Yeah, they're talking at the same time. But I'm talking about as far as one can unload, move, pull up, unload, move. Yeah. Very similar to what you were doing. Yes.
And with the students on there, with us dropping the kids off, we're also going to have ball games out here. How's that going to affect transportation for us trying to take care of getting our kids? Because you've got
Now what he's saying, he's asking another question. And with them having ball games out there, is that going to affect us, picking up our kids and things like that? Like, these parents have legitimate concerns, which, in my opinion, have been either ignored or not thought out properly by Superintendent and, his cohorts.
You've already got a lot of different things going on during the time that we would normally be doing.
We'll work with the traffic situation, but by your dismissal time, there are no athletics events that would be going on by your dismissal time.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I was just thinking about, exit, I guess, and then once I thought about it too, maybe this is where we'll all of us here in this building, our kids and all the other classes, I guess our exits will be through this one door and the automotive.
They're posted in terms of you mean as far as like a fire?
Like if we had a fire accident or something, we had to get everybody out, all our wheelchairs, all our children, everybody. So everybody's gonna be going through these doors.
2 doors. Here and there.
So there's another concern. The parent says, okay, well, I'm just thinking about, at Edgewood, we had a lot of, room now. What if we have a fire or emergency or something? Are we supposed to get all our wheelchairs out, all of our students out in this one door? He was like, 2 doors. Once again, have that been thought out properly? Like, so you got children in wheelchairs who need special accommodations and things like that. But once again, another valid concern, and just kind of, no, we got 2 doors. 2 doors. Have this thing really been thought out? Is my question.
Steve, you get there first, and then I'll.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand when you say quad.
When you go out the door here, the 4 mobile units that were formerly used at Edgewood, we moved those units here. It is the units right outside the door.
Okay, so
They're set up, but the power has not been hooked up yet, and it has to be inspected before we can occupy it.
So for the first 10 days, they're going to be with the regular population?
No, ma'am, they will be within this building here, which is Edgewood's campus. Yes.
And I was going to ask also about the
Okay, so what they're saying is because the building is not ready yet, it's yet to be inspected and some other things, they're going to be in this building here, which he says, now I don't know where that building is that they're at, but evidently that building is too small to house the 40 or so exceptional needs children that will eventually have to move to the modular building. And here's another concern.
security in that, and like coming back over here. There's a whole lot of differences on there with them.
As far as
how they get in, anybody else, if the doors on, be locked like, used to be in, Edgewood?
The doors here to this particular building, the doors on the quad, yes, that will not change.
Because a lot of times, from the quad, they will be coming over here to utilize these other rooms over here.
That's correct. It would be the same pattern that they had in Edgewood. The former staff would always have keys, and everything was always locked.
Addresses the manner of security, saying, okay, well, look, what about these doors? You know, what, how are they going to be manned? You know, and here he says, okay, well, the doors will always be locked and staff will always have keys. So basically, these exceptional children will be once again locked, unlike, I assume, the kids from the Wayne Academy who are going to be gated in within the campus of Eastern Wayne High School. These exceptional children are going to be locked in a modular building. Now you can they gave me slack about, you know, defending the behavioral children being gated in the community. So what defense do you have about locking exceptional children in a building? How are you going to defend this when they could have been on their own campus free of, you know, having to be locked and confined? You know, what if something malfunctioned with those keys? What if a staff is in the bathroom when an emergency happened and, you know, people can't get out of both doors? All of these things are, you know, major concerns or very concerning.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, is school next week?
Monday.
It is,
Yes.
okay. Because, you know, it didn't feel like to me that you were ready for the students yet, so you are ready.
We are ready, yes, as far as the facility. What I'm talking about tonight is when the quad unit's ready, we're going to begin instruction for the students here in the brick and mortar campus.
Okay.
The issue is, I want you to think about your student and whether or not you'd rather have classes. The one gentle lady here has said that she would rather have it in the quad for her student.
Okay.
Now, obviously, I can't say, we'll do that for you and then do something different for you. It's going to have to be what the feelings are of the majority.
Well, my student is 12 plus, right?
Yes.
It's 12 plus, so they're going to be in the quad also? That's her right
That
there.
that was her preference. That was what I was saying would be my preference if I were. What the students are most.
So now they're asking, you know, what would the students be in a quad? I don't know what a quad is, but evidently they're having two options to have their children educated before they are able to move in the modular building facility, the confinement. Let's call it what it is, a confinement. These children are going to be confined to this particular building. But evidently they have two different options right now. So they're trying to decide, they're giving each, you know, they're trying to get an opinion. They can't have both. They only can use one of the options. So he's asking them, okay, well, what would be best for your child?
Used to.
Would you like to mention what's not here yet as far as the 12 plus with the enhancement program?
So when you go in the classroom, you're going to see a little bit of half and half. Because what I thought we would be able to do is to go ahead and set up those areas and also set the classrooms up. Can't do it, but whenever you go in those classrooms, you'll see the shelving for a food line and enjoy already in place. So we've already started to put things in place, so when the transition comes, it'll be a smooth transition. So we're missing the food line of Edgewood, our enjoy of Edgewood. We're also going to have a cozy area.
See, now they're talking about the setup of the classroom. Evidently, there's a food line, the Enjoy thrift store. So evidently, these children have been accustomed to a certain environment, a certain setup that they are trying to recreate in this small modular building. And watch the lady ask another question, because evidently at Edgewood, they had a garden, right? How are they going to be able to have their garden in the middle of Eastern Wayne campus around a lot of students, safety issues, things of that nature? And I forgot what they said the answer, but you're going to hear it right now. Just about a minute left. Y'all bear with me.
Because our sensory, our students need that, and we're also going to have a library. Our students still need to gain literacy skills. So if you go, you'll see we've pretty much already started preparing for whenever that transition happens. I've already started having conversations with operations that, hey, when it's time to make that switch, we're going to make sure that everything on Peachtree that has to come over here, my team has already labeled everything so it'll be a smooth transition of moving things over there. So our students.
So once again, they're talking about the transition, right? So they're saying, okay, first of all, they're moving them from Edgewood to this little building right here, and they're going to try to recreate the Edgewood environment in that building. Then they're going to move them to another building, which is going to be, I guess, their permanent building, and they're going to try to recreate that same environment there. I don't know, I don't have an exceptional child. I know probably some of them do better with, routine or familiarity, maybe. So I don't know how these 3 or 4 transitions are going to affect, once again, their unique behaviors.
Won't lose anything in the transition.
And what about their gardening? Are they going to be able to do the gardening here?
So we will be, once we get settled in, we have the opportunity with our gardening that we did not have before because they're greenhouses. So I've already started talking to our agriculture instructor.
So once again, said the lady asked, are we going to have our gardening? We're going to have a better opportunity because, we're going to, once we get settled in, that could be 2 or 3 years down the line, right? Once we get settled in, I've talked to the horticulture lady, and she's super excited to partner with us, and they're going to be greenhouses. Where the greenhouse is going to be on a campus, when you're in a modular setting. But
she is super duper excited about joining forces to be able to use the greenhouses that are here.
They have probably the strongest, most robust ag program in the entire county. And too, as far as their greenhouse space, it's the largest functioning set of greenhouses in the county.
So they're saying they're going to be able to use the greenhouses there. And I'm going to end the video there. The person who sent it to me, of course, we want it to remain anonymous, but there you have the meeting. But what's most appalling to me is that first segment. That's why I said Dr. Whichard disrespects and ignores the concerns of parents of exceptional children at Edgewood. And once again, at the beginning, most of these parents were against it. As you saw from the one lady's comments, a lot of the parents are probably still against it, but she tries to placate them by saying, look, okay, they're going to be here. Let's just make the most of it. Anytime you have to say, let's just make the best of it, it's not a good decision for the person who's saying that, or it's not a good situation for the person who's saying that. So, you heard, parents voicing a lot of concerns. You've heard, them really not knowing, okay, well, yeah, we'll have to revisit that. The transportation or, the locks and keys or, they're going to come out this or, but, I don't know, can somebody tell me in the comments what are they going to do with the Edgewood school? Because, evidently there has to be some plans for that to move these exceptional children out of their environment. But I just wanted to share that. There was some surprise meeting yesterday, and I think the parents didn't find out until like Wednesday or Tuesday. So they're springing this on them now, 2 days before school starts. If you knew you guys weren't going to have that modular building ready, after all that you took these parents through throughout the summer and throughout all of these changes and all these special meetings and having them walk and storm out of the meetings because of their displeasure, you know, why would you have the decency to inform them more than one day, essentially? Because the meeting was yesterday at 5:30. So you only have Friday. If I'm not mistaken, I think school start on the 26th. So you really only have Friday to prepare your child or whatever you have to do for that. And so why didn't you guys have the decency to let them know before? There's a lot of things wrong with this. A lot of people see a lot of the things that this current superintendent is doing as, you know, being my way or the highway, or, you know, I'm going to do it like this. And if you don't like it, you know, keep on trucking, baby. What's the song with the Temptations? But yeah, like it's like, you know, he has this plan, this agenda, and it's gonna go off without a hitch, as he told the lady in the first of the video or the recording. Look, I wonder why, you know, we didn't have a say on, well, we've already decided that matter. What you need to think about is how your child is gonna, like, who do you think you are? Don't address that later. Okay, why didn't we? Because there's no answer for that question. And I applied once again, I just feel like she was a black woman who asked that question. If you know her voice, if you know the child, confirm it in the comments. But then she doubles down. Look, you can't hit me with all of that. I don't care about what you're saying about the transition. Why couldn't they stay where they was at? Well, that's not how the program works, man. Like, you know, those answers are very dismissive, in my opinion. And, you know, I'm pretty sure that, you know, you guys will find them so as well. If not, you know, leave your opinion in the comments. But 919-587-7782, if you have any more information, any more, you know, viewpoints to this story or any other story, feel free to call me direct, or you can send an email, taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. All callers and messages will remain anonymous if you so choose. But I thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace and love.
Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and invite your family and friends to watch.
From Wayne County to the Carolina coast, till our house bring the news you love most. Tune in on YouTube, don't miss a beat. Little stories that keep you on your feet.
Taylor House, we got the school.
Taylor House Publishing.